Okay, now that the video game garden plants are starting to get bigger, I can show you a few tips that I always take every year with some of these vegetables. Like for instance, the tomato plants are starting to look good, but we have a problem. You see this? Look all the way down here. I don't ever want any of my plants to touch the ground. And so what I do on all of my tomato plants is I come along and snip any of the lower branches. I know some of you were gonna say, you just cut off so much of the plant, but trust me, these things are gonna get like 7 feet tall. They're indeterminate, they're gonna keep growing. And you wanna keep them trimmed up off of the dirt because that's how all the insects and critters and diseases get up into your plants most of the time. Here's another thing I do when the plants are starting to get this size. If you look, you can see we're already starting to get some buds. See those? And right there. Yeah, look at those. That's beautiful. Pinch them off. Oh my God. Why would I do such a thing? Well, that's because I don't want them to start flowering or fruiting yet. These plants here are not even close to the size that I would want for them to start producing fruit. Here's one more little thing that some of you probably already do. Do you know what a sucker is? Let me show you. This is a sucker. You see how your plant forks off here, and then right in between that fork, you got another branch forming? Pinch those off. Because eventually what it's gonna do is the branch that was coming out of the split here, that's going to take precedent in the plant and use all the energy to grow out. And this one is going to start growing out and down. You don't want these to grow down. You want them to grow up. But let's move over to the Berkeley tie-dye now that it's big enough and start to bring it up off the ground as well. In fact, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I am going to get rid of that one and get rid of that one. Now my tomato plant is trimmed nice and high. That's going to promote growth upward, so it will come all the way up this little cage and then all the way up the big cage, which is only going to direct the energy up the plant, because that's what you want, unless you want, you know, smaller tomato plants, which some people do, but I don't. I have 7-foot tomato cages and I want them to billow over the tops. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but it works for me. What do you do in your garden that other people might call you crazy for?